Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Sunday, September 1st. I'm back from vacation. We had a lovely time. We spent a week in D.C. I do not like to fly. I just don't. But I did, and back to the Senate and the Congress galleries. So once you get your passes, then you go back. No, get your baby. Once you get your passes, then you go back to the Capitol building and you go through security again. Security in any of these buildings was not difficult to do. You know, if you have a purse, you put your purse down, you walk through. It was not a big deal. If they felt like they needed to do a wand, they would do a wand, but I had no problem. So we went through security again, and then you have to make your way to the line, and of course the Senate is on one side of the Capitol building and the House is on the other side of the Capitol building, and it's all connected. So it's very cool to be in this building because it's all connected, and that's where all of the laws and policies of our nation are made. So that was cool. So you get in line, and we went to the House of Congress first. Well, the Congress, the House of Representatives. So we needed this one first. And you have to turn everything in. No Apple Watches, no phones, no devices that can transmit signals. I had to leave my purse there. You had to wear a red badge. So we went and left everything in this room, and there's people in the room that work there that, you know, it's like a coat check type of a system. So everything went into a basket. We got the tag that identifies our basket, and off we went. You get into this line, you go up, and then you walk through, and you feel like you're walking in an area that you shouldn't be in, and you make your way to the gallery, and you go through security again. And of course my husband didn't, the first time they didn't say leave the wallet, and so he had it with him, and they had to stop him and make him go through they went through the wallet. So he took a little bit of time to get through the second thing of security, and it's the security where you stand and you kind of, you know, spread eagle, and they do that little thing around you. So went in, and then you're sitting in the gallery, and it's 4 or 5 rows deep, very stacked stadium seating, and you're sitting there and you are looking around at the wallpaper, the furnishings, the chairs, and the history that has been made in that room. You're just like, oh my gosh. And we could not take any photos. We were not allowed anything in that room except for our bodies. So we sat there for a little bit and kind of, you know, there was nothing going on. Everybody's on recess until September. But it was kind of cool, and we sat there for quite a while and just was looking at everything. It's beautiful. If you ever get an opportunity to do it, please go do it. It was awesome. So we come back out when we're done sitting and looking at, you know, an empty room. We come back out and get our stuff, and then we walk to the other end to do the Senate. So it's the same drill. You go in. This time, though, they said take your wallets, which I thought was interesting. Took our wallets. Up we went, and our pass. This one was the blue pass. And up we went, and the same kind of deal. You get to the top, they put you through security again, and then you are met at the top by a secret, I don't think he was secret security, but you're met at the top, and then they're like, okay, go ahead and have a seat, but not the front row, which I thought was very interesting. And the sections are blocked off, so there's only a very small number of seats, and they're blocked off by these wrought iron gold railings in these different sections, so you can't just fill around. They have it very controlled, in a very controlled space. Again, really tight stadium seating. And there you are, where you can see the desks. Some of them were open. They look like school desks. Like when you're a kid and you have like the little, like before you had the cubby in the desk, you had the desktop that opened up. It was that kind of a desk. They're beautiful. And then they had like a shelf underneath it that was suspended off the ground, part of the desk, that they could put their things on there. And it was just it was very cool. Again, you sit there and you think, gosh, the conversations that were had in this room and the policies that were made in this room, it's just, I don't know, it's unbelievable. So so if you ever get an opportunity to do that, you will need passes, so keep that in mind. You can get them on your way in. The building is literally across the street from the visitor center. There's 3 buildings for the States, and ours was the Hart building, so ours was the furthest away. But there's 3 buildings. You can probably call ahead to figure out which building your senator's office is in to go get your passes. I don't know if you can get them ahead of time or not. So we did that. We did the trolley tour several times. And that's one of those hop on, hop off bus tours. So they take you around and they tell you about the history of the city and different monuments and things like that. We did one the first day we were there. We did one the night, so we could see all the monuments lit up. And then we did it on Friday just for ease of getting around town. So a little pricey to do it that way, but it worked out well for us. So we went to the Spy Museum, which is not a Smithsonian museum. I always thought the Smithsonian, I didn't even say it, was one museum. No, it's several museums. They're all free. The Spy Museum is not. It's a privately owned museum, and it is on spies and espionage. They had a James Bond exhibit in there, so the cars, the boats, the plane, all of that kind of thing. That was an extra $10. But the neat thing about this museum, because I'm of course, you've got to do what your spouse wants to do too. You can't all just look at the fun, like what I consider fun stuff. When you walk in, they give you an orientation, and then you go into an elevator and they take you up to the top floor, and you then take a card, like a badge, and you can do missions. You can either walk through the museum or you can walk through the museum and do missions. And so that's what we chose to do. It's interactive. So they gave you a card, and then you put it on this QR code reader and you just let it sit there. And then it tells you what your name is, where you're from, what your occupation is, of your secret life, and then what your code name is. So my code name was Bear Claw. My name was Finley something, from Australia, and I was a programmer. So you take that information, and then you start going through this museum, and they have stations in every room. You can go through first, and then they have you do a station, and then every time you put your pass down, you have to identify yourself. So I had to identify myself with my code word, which was Bear Claw, before they would open anything up. Now, if you forget the information, they give you a spot where I forgot my information. Okay, that's fine. But I was able to remember. It was easy enough for me to remember. And then they have you like confirm your identity, the first one. So like, do you remember what your occupation is? And do you remember? Then they have you go through and you look at all these different things. Very cool. Historical people, or I don't say historical people, things, objects, and people that were actually spies for the U.S. and for other countries. And then they talk about it. Then they talked a little bit. There was one room that you sit down and you can put your badge down, and then you can be, you can make decisions and plan how you're going to attack and kill Osama bin Laden. And what it's doing is it's going through and it is explaining all of the choices that they had to make and the probability. So it's teaching you, like, it's not always 100% probability. In this case, it was actually the intel that they had that Osama bin Laden was in the compound that he was in was 50-50. And President Obama decided that that was good enough and that they were going to go ahead and attack. And it worked out well, as you all know. Anyways, so the Spy Museum was very fun. It was very interactive. All the museums only took us a couple hours to get through, with the exception of the Natural History Museum. I think we spent the most time there. That was fun, very informative. We went to the portrait gallery. I really enjoyed that. We didn't see everything, but I was there to see the portraits. They had some photographs of some stars from the golden age of Hollywood, so I wanted to go through that as well. So that was fun. We went to the Lincoln Monument once during the day and once at night when it was lit up. We saw the Martin Luther King Monument. We saw Martin Luther King Jr., excuse me. We saw the Jefferson Monument from afar. We got to go to Arlington. We got to see a video of the changing of the guards. That is a process that's done every 30 minutes and takes 7 minutes. I found my uncle's memorial headstone at Arlington, which is literally right behind the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So that was nice. We didn't have to go very far for that. Did not go see Kennedy's Eternal Flame. It was hot. It was muggy. We were very sweaty and sticky and exhausted by the time we got to some of these things. So we just kind of, about 4 in the afternoon, we made our way back to the hotel and we just kind of chilled, usually took a nap, because we also had the time change too. And then we'd get up for dinner and do whatever we want for dinner and then go back to the hotel for the night and kind of call it a night early. So that was, that's kind of how our day went. Okay, sorry this video is a little chopped up. My son is home for the second day. We went down and picked him up and brought him back. We just got back from having lunch with him. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on today, this weekend. We also spent a day, we drove to Mount Vernon, and we took a morning and went through George Washington's home and saw his and Martha's final resting place, and that was very interesting. Beautiful grounds. If you've never gone, that whole area is just stunning, so pretty. And but of course we were there on the hottest day of the year with the highest humidity that you can get before rain, I think. So it was a struggle. Then we drove down to Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, and had some dinner there at a local restaurant, stayed the night, got up in the morning, and went and walked Colonial Williamsburg and took some tours there. The very cool thing about Colonial Williamsburg. If you've never been, I highly suggest it. It's actually one of three parts of a historic triangle. There's Jamestown, Yorktown, and Williamsburg. We only made it to Williamsburg. They have costume docents, some who actually live in some of the private residences there at Williamsburg. And we went through a couple of docent-led tours, obviously, the palace, the Capitol building, and then we also went to the court building, and they actually did little trial reenactments. So they brought people in from the audience to be the three of the four judges, because you have the main judge, and then you had three or four other people up there that were also judges, and then you had the sheriff, which was kind of like the bailiff, I guess, and then you had the court clerk, who would call the cases, and the cases that they reenacted, and then they asked audience members to be certain people. So an audience member was, 3 audience members were the judges, 1 was a sheriff, and then you had 3 plaintiffs, or a plaintiff and an accused and a couple other things. But they were actually cases that they pulled from the files from 1752 or something like that. I don't know. It was from the 1700s. So the language is a little different. The things they're being accused of are a little different. Like, one was accused of not going to church, and the reason he didn't go to church was because he was Catholic. Well, in the 1700s, being Catholic was against the law, and it was a felony. So they got to see how that case was resolved, and it was very interesting. We had a really good time. Plus, it was air conditioned, so again, another hot, sticky day. And it was air conditioned, so it was lovely. But and then they have a museum there as well that we walked through most of it, and it was really, really nice. So yeah, we had a good time, and then I'm sure I'm missing other things, but I don't want this video to be 3 hours long. I could just go on and on and on. I did stop at Liberty Hill Needleworks in Williamsburg. So most of what's in this project bag is from there. Also, we went into the dress shop at Colonial Williamsburg. I said, well, let's just pop in there. I had no idea what to expect. I just wanted to look and see what they had. Well, they had tiny chenille, really, really thin chenille floss, and they had eyelash floss and reproduction kits. So I wound up buying a reproduction kit that I absolutely love, and then I read the stitches that were involved, and I'm like, I don't know how to do half of them, but that's okay. Mercy Hopkins learned, I can learn. So did that. And then I have that haul I will share with you today, and then I also ordered some things from Primrose that came in, Primrose Cottages that came in while I was gone, and I'll show you that today as well. Stitching, I did some stitching before we left, obviously, and I did some stitching while I was there. I was able to finish. I brought 3 projects with me, but I only worked on the monthly weigh-in series, and I finished May, finally. It took me 3 nights to finish it because I kept messing up, and I also started November. I decided to skip ahead to November. So we've got that. Also, another thing I want to talk about is that when we come home for the last 3 years, this year and the 2 prior, when we come home, my daughter hides these little plastic things around the house. So can you see what that is? It's a little plastic frog, and you can see another one right right there, right there. Pink. There was one up there in blue. This time she got a little more clever, and so like this one I didn't see, but because it was stuck in this white cabinet with that I keep my inks in, so it blends in really well. There was a blue one up there against that blue background there. In the house I have 2 small blue cake stands, and one was on top of that, and I didn't see it right away, but when I'm sitting I look up and I see these little white eyes and I'm like, a frog. She had white ones on top of the shutter casings, so 165 of them are in cute 165 of these little guys are hidden throughout the home and in my office, and I'm sure it'll take me years to find them. I'm still finding. The very first thing she hid were babies, the little plastic babies that you get in the cakes at Mardi Gras, and then last year it was ducks, little plastic ducks like that, and then this year it's the frogs. So 165 of them. And then I have a jar. I'll put a picture in either the beginning or the end. There'll be a picture of the jar that I bought to collect them all in, because I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. It's turned into our tradition, and it's fun to come home and just start seeing these, and you think you catch them all, and then like months after you'll open up a drawer and like there'll be one there, and then years later you'll open up a drawer. Like I found a baby not that long ago, and I was cracking up because there it was, and she said, you still haven't found a duck, and so now the duck and the frog are in the same place because you still haven't found it, and I can't believe you haven't found it. But she won't, of course, tell you where it's at, and that's it's just fun. She saw that on a TikTok, and I think it's fun to come home and then to have something fun to do like that. So if you're ever in need of a fun little, I don't want to call it a prank because it's not really a prank, I think about it. You can get these on Amazon for like very, very inexpensive. They have all different kinds of little animals in all different quantities, and it's fun. Stitching. Well, let's start with my finish. I wound up with 2 finishes. I finally finished the entire book of the Snowball. I was working on Winter Wonderland, and it's done. Oh, with the exception of the buttons. I don't know if I'm going to put buttons in. I may do buttons. They're cute. Now I got to find buttons. I'm stitching this with the called for flosses. DMC some weeks. And I'm stitching this, I stitched it on 40 count anthracite linen. By Zweigart. And this is the one I was finishing up. And this is all of them. So I'll give it a good press. I will contemplate the buttons. They are awfully cute. They're not on all of them. Looks like there's only 3 pillows, 4 pillows with a button. So it's done. It can be pressed. I can decide if I want buttons, and then I can finish them off into little pillows well before winter time. I'm not going to put these up during Christmas. I'm going to use these for winter, so I'm very excited about that. So that's done. One bag that can go back into my stash. And I finished May. So again, called for flosses because, I ran out of bamboo, but the called for flosses. There is the month name. And the finished piece. Now, I made some mistakes on the flower up here. I had to rip stuff out. I think I was too tired. And then I started rushing because I was so close to being done. And I've been stitching on this for such a long time. I'm like, I gotta get it done. And I finally just, the third or fourth time I found a mistake, I'm like, I'm done. I'm just gonna fudge it and work around it and it'll be just fine. And it was. So it'll be pressed, it'll be prepared like this one up here, and be good to go by next May. So that was good, and that was done, which meant I could start the next month that I wanted to start. And so I decided to move ahead and work on November. Again, this was last year. It was a kit. It came with the pattern and the floss. I ordered the called for fabric, which is 28 count Tea Dyed Monaco. I purchased the finishing piece through Paisleys and Polka Dots, and I don't have all of the little, I think I have all of the extra little things that go on top, but I haven't finished them all. So that will take, a day of painting, probably several days of painting, to be honest. But November is done, and I love it. The month name is done. This took me 2 evenings to stitch. I probably could have stitched the whole thing in one evening, but it was getting late, and I was tired. I wasn't tired, but I was tired enough that I thought, go to bed, you're gonna regret it. So I started and finished the name, and then I started the actual piece itself, and I made pretty good progress. I'm really pleased. It is stitching up pretty quickly. So the turkey is almost done. I just have to put the little yellow beak and his little yellow feet in, and then the scale is all done. I just need to do the white. And then that big piece, part of that piece will be done. It is working up really quickly. I'm very pleased. This is the one that I stitched a little bit on the plane coming home yesterday. So I was able to, pretty much what I finished was the scale, like the accents on the scale. So I will keep this in the rotation a little bit more frequently now that I've moved past May. If I can get November ready to go, that'll be fun. I did make some progress, some correct progress on Teresa Kogut's hometown Sal. Now, I don't, do I have the chart in here? I think I have the chart in here. I do. Okay. That's how many sections, 8 sections have been released so far. And I got stuck and stumped in May. So many mistakes. I finally have fixed them all. I tore out a bunch of stuff. I got angry. I put it away. I've pulled it back out. We've made up. We're friends again. We're moving right along. But I'm still in May. Using all the called for DMCs. I'm not sure I'm going to switch any of these out for a variegated. She has done that. I don't know that I am. I'm stitching this on the called for, which is 40 count overcast. No, it's not 40 count overcast. What is this? It's the called for 40. It's by Fox and Rabbit, 40 count. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I have it written down in the notes below. It's the called for fabric. It's 40 count by Fox and Rabbit. I don't have a label on it. I'm just drawing a blank. It's going to be long and skinny. So you can see the blue house and I have made up and moved on. I added the 2. I had 1 deer done. I added 2 deer. I added the sign. I brought part. I'm working on bringing this down. I used what was left on my floss from doing the chimney to finish that as much as I could, and then I started working on the barn. Got a long way to go. I'm thinking I might pull this out and work on it today. I did not take this with me because I wasn't sure how the lighting was going to be on the plane or in the hotel, and to work on 40 count, I wanted something that would be easy on my eyes and that could be done in not so great light. So I did that. I did have a birthday start. My birthday start is Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais. I can't find the picture. So this is what I stitched on my birthday. My birthday was, that is so weird. I've lost part of this chart. That is not great. I wonder if it fell. I don't have the chart, like the picture. I'm sure you've seen this. If not, keep coming back because I think this will be done pretty quickly. I'm stitching this on, I decided on 40 count legacy linen, and right now I have some of these pulled, the called for, but one of you sent me your thread conversion, and I'm thinking, I think I pulled the Freedom to use with it, although in this light it doesn't look so great. Summer Shower and slate are very, very similar, so I still might swap some things out. But this is where I'm at right now with this. We'll just have to wait and see what I finally decide on. But I got the grass done, and then this is a little tree that starts up here, I think with a bird. Now I'm concerned I don't know where that picture is. I'll find it. It's got to be around here somewhere. I'm thinking it might have fallen in between the cushion and the chair and slid down in between. But I'm loving it. I think it's gonna be a quick stitch, a quick birthday stitch, which is great because the last 2 birthday stitches I'm still working on. So I wanted something that could be quick that I could get done. And this is it. I pulled out Grand Old Flag 2 by Brenda Gervais. Again, 3 really quick pillows. If I could just get them done, have them ready to be up by Memorial Day, that would be fantastic. I'm stitching this on a mystery fabric. I don't know what it is. I had a scrap, or maybe they sent it to me. This was a kit. They sent it to me. I ordered the kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods. So it came with the backing fabric, the trim, the flosses. I did switch out my floss. The called for is tartan plaid for the blue, and I switched mine to Winnie Bee Blue. I really liked that lighter blue with this piece for some reason. So this one I finished very quickly, and then this is the one I've been working on. So I worked on these pinwheels here and the flag pieces there. I love them. I can't wait to get them done. It is stitching up pretty quickly, so I am happy about that. Again, this is not something that I have to rush to get done, but I'm gonna keep this one in my whip basket, even though it's just about time for me to pull the summery things out. I think I'm going to keep this in there so that I can pick it up and work on it, and if I can have these finished by Memorial Day, that would make me so happy. My Friday stitch, because I finished my snowball, I picked a new Friday focus piece. I did not stitch it this past Friday when I was on vacation, but I picked Winter Stitching Seasons with the Housewives, because winter is fast approaching and I want to get this done. So it's a kit, a complete kit. So I'm stitching it with all the called for things, and this is how far I got. Oh, I think I'm gonna need to clip this one. So I did the blue on this house. I added the light blue in the windows and in the middle of those snowflakes. I stitched the blue here, hot cocoa. I brought that black over as far as I could, and I believe I stitched that blue house too. I'm not sure. Maybe that blue house was also done. Oh, and I did the door. I have quite a bit left to do on this. The names of the month, and then the house, and then it's done. I'm thinking probably by the end of September, if I stitch these every Friday, it'll get done. Again, called for flosses because it all came in a kit with this cute little bag. I pulled out reindeer games because, again, these are so tiny. If I can get them done and framed, I think these would be really cute on the tree this year. Or I don't know. Don't they have those like wrought iron ornament stands that can hang several ornaments? These would be really cute hanging off of one of those too. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish them as ornaments, but I haven't decided beyond that what I'm going to do. I'm stitching this on the called for 40 count vintage country mocha, I believe. Yeah. And this is the one I worked on, this one right here. So I finished the trees. I'm so sorry. I finished the trees, and the same color used for the tree trunks was used for the reindeer, so whatever was left on that needle is what I worked up for this reindeer, and then I started on the house. So I'm pretty much 50% done with this one, I think. And then I'll have one more to do. You can see this one's already done, and I love it. So cute and prim. So if I can get these done so that I can, get them finished by this Christmas, that would be fantastic. In reality, it should happen. Will it? Who knows? I would like for it to. Then I wanted to pull out something that I haven't stitched on in a while, and when I was going through my bag, this one popped out at me, and it was Eliza's French Birds, 1849, by JBW Designs. Again, it should be a pretty quick stitch. I'm using the called for, and I'm stitching mine on a mystery fabric. Yay. 32 count antique ivory linen. I really felt like I made progress on this one. Look at how vibrant those colors are. So I added the name Eliza, and I finished, almost finished the leaves. I have the accent colors to do, which I think is more of a brown tone. I added the berries, and so I feel like I really made some progress on this one, really in just a couple hours of stitching, which was nice. Maybe a third of the way done. And I'm loving how it's turning out on this fabric. I will frame this one. I'm not sure how yet, like what I'm going to frame it with, but I will frame it. And I'll probably hang it out here or maybe in my bedroom. We'll see when it's all done. So that was good. Okay, so These are the ones for my finished piece. I took the kit apart when I was showing you, and I just separated out. These are for Snowball. They get to go back to stash. Panicked there for a little bit. Could you see the panic on my face? Okay, so haul. If you don't want to see what I've picked up on my trip, I know this is a longer video, and for that I apologize. If you don't want to see what I picked up on my trip, thank you so much for tuning in. Several new subscribers this week, this past week, couple weeks. Thank you and welcome. I do appreciate you popping in. Make sure if you're new to the channel that you like and hit the ring the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the videos, comment on the videos. I do read the comments and I do acknowledge them with a little heart at least, if not a comment. So I do appreciate that. I do enjoy interacting with you all. But if you're not interested in haul, and there's quite a bit of it, I will see you next time. I know this video's been long already, so I'll see you next time. Thank you. If you are ready to see the haul, then let's get started. I ordered, before I left, I ordered my charts that I wanted from Primrose Cottage. Primrose Cottage is getting ready to do their, to release their Halloween Stitch and Sip box. So I ordered the fabric for that. I am going to try to pop on. I believe she said they're going on sale at 5 p.m. on September 8th. If you watch their last Flosstube video from this past week, they will go over that information towards the end of their video. But I am going to try to get my hands on one of those boxes. If not, I like the fabric and I'll use it anyways. It's this vintage smoke. It's like the gray version of vintage country mocha. So I bought that. I bought a very simple but cool looking quilt pattern. I know I don't quilt right now, but I bought it. And I also bought there was something else. Did I buy fabric? I might have bought a fat quarter bundle of Halloween fabric, the purple and the black. So it has a ghost, it has the words boo. I don't know why. I felt like I needed it. They do a very good job of selling their stuff. I was highly influenced. So I ordered that in preparation for the Stitch and Fix box to come out. So I'm hoping that I can get my hands on one of those. And while we're talking about boxes, Chantel's 141 Design Company opened up the pre-order purchase for her annual ornament box. So she takes orders all the way through September. So you've got time. I don't believe there's a limited quantity. I think she makes them as she goes. It is almost double in price. Actually, it's probably a little bit more than double in price, or not quite double in price as it was last year, because this year she's done something different. She has 4, maybe 5 designers who have designed a piece specifically for the ornament that she has created, which is something different that she's done before, because they've done the ornaments. You get 10 different ornaments, I think, and then people were, I guess, reaching out to her, what can I put on this, what will work for her, you know. And I've finally started using some of my ornament pieces. It's taken me a while to stitch things to go on them, but they're really cute and they make great smalls. If you have a bigger Christmas tree, make great ornaments for a bigger Christmas tree. Some of them really nice pieces that I use for things even not related to Christmas. So this year she approached and she has 4 different designers. I'm going to pull it up quickly. Pre-order the ornament mystery box from September 1st until September 30th. The box will ship during the week of October 7th. So it's a really quick turnaround time once the order's been placed. 5 incredibly talented cross-stitch designers have created exclusive cross-stitch designs for you. Each pattern is intricate and unique, suitable both for beginners and experienced stitchers. And additionally, the wooden ornaments in the box have been carefully selected by each designer to perfectly complement their design. Don't forget about the finishing accessory pack. It's the final touch for your ornament mystery box. It includes some extras you'll need to turn your ornaments into cherished mementos. I did not do. Now I gotta go back and look at the accessory pack. In the past, they've handpicked 10 fresh ornament designs. Each year was a hit. Many of you showcasing these ornaments in your finished piecing, asking for more shapes and pattern suggestions. This year, you're going to get 5 unique ornament shapes paired with 5 matching patterns and some extra finishing delights curated by Chantel's 141. Designs within the box are from Teresa Kogut, Plum Street Samplers, Hands-On Design, Annie B's Folk Art, and Robin Pickens. So you know it's some good stuff. So I'm excited. It was $75 plus shipping, which was $10. And now I have to go back and see what she was talking about with that finishing thing. Maybe I misread that. Check it out if you're interested. You've got until September 30th to place the order. The orders that are placed sooner will get shipped to sooner. She fills them on a first come first served basis. Yeah, check it out. And it's all a mystery. From Primrose Cottage, I ordered 3 of their new charts for fall. I ordered Salem Sisters Stitchery. Oh, this is what I ordered. I ordered the hoop. Salem Sisters Stitchery. I want to finish this in the hoop, so I picked that up. I love this. This may need to get started. It's brilliant. It is so stinking cute. The Halloween Quaker. This one I ordered the finishing kit with, Salem Sisters also, the floss. They all are using the same floss, but each kit, like you need 2 of a couple of different colors for Salem stitchers. You might need only 1 for others, so you can pick and choose. And I figured these are such great fall colors. I don't care if I have duplicate or triplicate. So this was the Salem Sisters floss pack. And then I bought the finishing kit for Halloween Quaker. So you've got the grunge background fabric. Can't really tell. Grunge background fabric, a little piece of felt for the back, gray trim, and then of course the floss. Just love it. And then I picked up the Halloween quilt. I love these. They're also selling these little pins, but they're included in the finishing pack, but that makes the finishing pack about $35, $40. And honestly, if I'm stitching this and displaying it in the house, I have 2 cats that are very curious, and I don't want them pulling one of those off and hurting themselves. So I did not do that, but they specifically, just another button company, I believe, yes, designed these pins specifically for this piece. So you've got a girl ghost and 2 stars. I may get them anyways and keep it out here because it's so cute. All of these things with the called for fabric will be kept in my new project bag that I picked up at Liberty Hill Needleworks. I walked by this and I kept looking at it and I thought, get it. I don't have a bag like this. This is my very first one. Yes, I can make them. I probably will make them, to be quite honest, once I get back into sewing. But I had to. It's already got, cat fur love on it. So my Halloween will go in here, and I love it. So those came in the mail, along with the scissors. Did I talk about the scissors? I bought the denim Lori Holt scissors. And then I did a couple of things. My husband was so sweet. He just kept buying for me, and it was so nice, because it was my birthday gift. And it's funny because all I was going to do, I'm just going to kit up one project, because that's all I have the bandwidth for. Kit up one project. And then I thought, well, if the new Brenda Gervais charts are out, I'll pick those up too. And then I started watching people's Flosstubes leading up to vacation. I'm like, maybe I'll add that. I wound up with a lot. Okay, so charts. I've been eyeballing this, and I love it every time I see people stitch it. You can do it this way, where it's one motif is a different color of DMC floss, and you'll have 324 colors, which I think is the way I'm going to do it, because I think it is so gorgeous. Or you can stitch it this way on the back and only use 90 some odd colors. No, 36 colors, and you stitch a whole grid. So you can see it really well in the blue and the teal. All of those colors are one DMC. So you get like 5 tiny little squares and 4 motifs in one DMC color, and then you're only using 36 colors. Equally as stunning. But this one really is calling my name. So I picked this up. I wanted a sampler, and I wanted to kit a sampler while I was there. And so I was looking on their sampler wall, and I was really struggling to find something that really grabbed me. And then I remembered when I saw JBW's Bluebirds of Happiness, and I thought, oh yes, of course. Bluebird Paper and Thread needs to have Bluebirds of Happiness. So I picked this up with the called for floss, the classic Colorworks. It does have a couple DMCs that I will add to it, but this is the fabric and the flosses. Very soft palette, and Ligonier Latte 36 count by R&R. If you are ever in Williamsburg, Virginia, and you get an opportunity to swing by this shop, do. They're very, very nice. They're very, very helpful. I had such a good time going through their things. Not enough time to do it all. And honestly, I was getting a little overwhelmed, so I kind of wrapped it up really quickly. And as I was going through, I saw this pattern, which I already have. But I was struggling to kit it up because I didn't have all of the flosses. And so I took the chart and I went along their line of flosses, and I found every floss that I needed for it, with the exception of pomegranate, but I already had pomegranate. I think it's pomegranate. Yeah. But I already had pomegranate. And see, I already started kitting it, but I didn't have it. And it's okay, I didn't have all of it because I will always use these floss colors. I don't care if I have duplicates. But I had pomegranate. So the one that they didn't have, they had here. So I'm ready to go. So anyway, so I bought those because I thought, well, then I have 2 almost fully kitted pieces. So that came home with me. And then I picked up, this is Needle Bling Broom Grass, 40 count. I'm going to take it out because it's so pretty. It's such a great neutral. It's darker, but it's not so dark. And it's got a lot of really great modeling on it. I love it. It's grungy and grubby and really beautiful tone. So I picked up that. And then I picked up, you guys are gonna laugh at me, Lilac from Weeks Dye Works. Such a pretty purple, 36 count. I don't know, everybody needs a purple fabric. A spring piece, a Halloween piece, something really cute will go on this, and I just had to have it. I think the color is so pretty. It's purple without being super purple. Okay. Then I picked up a bunch of other charts. I picked up Bobbin, because I didn't have her, and Miss Hazel. Now ask me if I've stitched Maggie May yet. No, I have not, but I'm ready. I stitched up Woodland Witch, which is new, Brenda Gervais. Feels Like Fall, Brenda Gervais. Autumn Swan by Brenda Gervais, and Goodness Gracious. So these were all of her new fall releases. And then I found The Cat and the Moon. I do not think I will finish it this way, but I think it would be really, really cute finished in one of those little tart tins that Fat Quarter Shop sells. So I might finish it that way, we'll see. But I thought it was super cute. And then Bittersweet and Broomsticks. This one is from 2018. Someone is stitching this one on purple right now, and I think that's why I'm like, ooh, purple. I don't think I'm going to stitch it on purple. We'll have to wait and see. But I liked it. And then I don't have a lot of autumn or Thanksgiving, so I picked up Autumn's Bouquet. And then I have some of these, but not the spring. And so by Plum Street Samplers, I picked up Hello Spring. Because every time I'm in the mood to window shop and add things to cart, I pick this one and I drop it in the cart, and I never wind up purchasing it. And I thought, you know what, just purchase it. It'll be a quick enough stitch, I think, that I can probably get it done. If I start it when I'm off during the holidays, I probably could get it done by spring. So I picked up all of those. And then we went into, the bag is Emelina's Designs by Dorlinda Quarter. So if you like the bag, you can check it out. Then we went to the needle workshop, and I bought a bunch of the eyelash, silk eyelash, and these colors, I'm just going to lay them out here as quickly as I can to show you how stunningly gorgeous they are. Finishing was my thought for these. and they were on sale. They were already reduced, and then an additional 20% off. And I got all of the colors except for one. They're so yummy. I did not do the chenille. I wasn't sure. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I wish that I did do some of the chenille, because that would be a really fun. It was very, very thin, but it would have added a lot of texture to like a 32 count or smaller. 32 count or smaller. It would add a lot of really nice texture to a piece, for the right piece. And maybe that's why I didn't buy it. I'm like, what would I use this for? So I picked up all of this, probably for finishing different things. I just thought, let's get it. I was expecting to pay for it. My husband's like, okay, and off he went. And then I'm like, but wait, there's more. They had a whole little counter of all things stitching, because it's the 1700s. And I found this reproduction sampler, and I'm gonna pull the picture out because I don't want any glare on this bag. It was half the price of another one. I was debating between this one and another one, and this one was half the price. And because fall is coming up and I'm having all the fall feels, I love the colors, I love the design, and so I picked up the Mercy Hopkins sampler. So I'm going to read it to you, so just bear with me. You can skip ahead if you want to. Mercy Hopkins was 11 years old when she completed the sampler in 1800. Mercy Hopkins sampler is similar to one worked by Charlotte Huff of Burlington County, New Jersey in 1799. It's one of several inscribed with the school teacher's name, Sarah Shoemaker. The bold sawtooth bands, pine trees, hearts, wide-eyed stag, and border of the queen stitch strawberries and flowers are some of the similarities between the samplers of Mercy and Charlotte that indicate both were worked under the instruction of Sarah Shoemaker. Many samplers appear worn, faded, and colorless to modern eyes. They were not always so. Although many were not flamboyant, their expert stitches were executed with colorful silks on fresh, lighter colored grounds. The colors for this sampler were taken from the back, where the silk had not been subjected to ultraviolet light damage. This reproduction is to be worked on 28 count cream linen with cotton floss. The finished piece measures 11 3/4 by 15 1/4. The stitches utilized are cross stitch, queen stitch, I don't know what that is, Algerian eye, rice stitch, I don't know what that is, four-sided line stitch, we'll figure that one out, satin stitch, I know, stem stitch, I think I know, and back stitch, I was fine until I read all the different types of stitches that are in here. So it truly is a sampler. And it was a fully completed kit. So all the instructions, it even tells you how to do those fancy stitches. It's a little booklet. It came with a little tag for finishing, and it came with the linen and the floss and a needle, and I love it. It is my favorite thing. Mercy Hopkins sampler. It is Sampler September. I was not going to participate in Sampler September. I think I'm going to for sure start this one. I don't know if I'll start it today because my son is home. We have to take him back by 9, back to base. But I think I'm going to start these two this week. and stitch on them once or twice every week through September. It's so good. I love it. Now this is gonna pale in comparison. My week's Dye Works Floss Fix came in as well. And this month we are in the H's and I's. So I've got Holly, Honeysuckle, Hunter, Icicle, Iris, and Isla Morada. This holly is perfect with both of these greens, actually are perfect for Christmas stitching. Okay. That's it for all the things vacation. Again, for the project bag. So tell me, are you partaking in the Sampler September? I'm not going to stitch only samplers, but I will start these two for sure. And I'll work on them at least once, if not twice a week, because I think that's a lot of dedication to just two pieces. But I'm very excited about these. Excuse me. I know this video was super long, and for that I apologize. I'm already at an hour, and I already have 4 sections before that. I am going to cut it off. I'm not going to go on and on anymore. You listened to me enough, and for that I appreciate you. If you are new to my channel and made it to the end, thank you. These videos are not this long ever. There was just so much exciting stuff to share. Thank you, and please, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. I do read the comments. I do at least acknowledge them with a little heart. If not, I will comment back if I can. I do appreciate it. We did, while I was on vacation, reach and exceed by this much 1,500 subscribers. So I will be putting together a drawing. I will try to get that together for you for next week. Coming back into work with it being a short week may have its own challenges. So we will see if I can't get that done for this coming Saturday. But it might be the following week, because I want to make sure I've got some fun things for you. Thank you. Have a great Labor Day. If you're enjoying it with friends, or if you're just stitching it and having just hanging out by yourself or with your immediate family, enjoy it. The last big holiday of the summer until Thanksgiving, so we got a ways to go. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.